Have you ever looked around your life and thought, this is not what I planned on? This is not where I wanted my life to be at this point or ever. Maybe you ended a marriage, a friendship, a long term career, had to uproot your life and move cities where everything is unfamiliar. Maybe you lost money. Maybe you lost someone you love. There are so many scenarios that can flip our world upside down and make us feel like, wait, hold on, this is not what I wanted. I didn't ask for this, universe. I didn't ask for this. Maybe your health, your finances, your friendships, your identity completely unraveled. If that's the case, this episode is for you. Okay. This one hits home. Probably because I've had to rebuild my life quite a few times. Can I blame others? No, not always. Sometimes, but not always. And today we're going to talk about something that completely changed my perspective on manifestation. Because here's what no one talks about. Sometimes your life has to fall completely apart for it to fall together better. I call it a clean slate. The universe removes what is no longer serving you in order to make room for something that is better. I talk about this all the time on my show while I'm doing psychic readings. It's not that the universe is punishing you, and I know we all like to think like that, whether you believe in the universe, God, higher power, whatever it is. It's because, again, it's making room for something that's better. Nobody dreams about starting over. Let's be real. When you're young, we imagine our lives just a straight line. Like, I am going to go to college. I'm going to get married. I'm going to build a family. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to have success. I am going to have security and happiness, the white picket fence life. But unfortunately, that is not how life works, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm here to tell you, before you have to go through it, let me just share. People leave, dreams change, jobs disappear, children grow up. That was probably one of the hardest ones for me. People die. It's life. Friendships end. And sometimes we wake up one day and we don't even recognize the life that we're living or who we are anymore. What if everything falling apart isn't failure, though? What if it's transformation? Think about that. I think back to different seasons of my own life, and there were moments where I truly believed everything was over because for the moment it was. I lost people, I lost homes, I lost friendships, I lost jobs, careers changed, money, so many things, especially in relationships. Living the dating life that I have lived, I have lost a lot. I definitely couldn't imagine thinking those moments at the time, but now I am so very grateful. Let me tell you, looking back, those painful chapters became a foundation of who I really am today, and it has built resilience in me, trust a little bit. Still working on that one, men. And it has built this capacity for me to forgive not only myself, not only others, but to forgive in the process of life and manifestations. Not because those moments were easy, definitely, but because they forced me to become someone I would have never become if I had stayed comfortable. Every time I have said and thrown out to the universe, I want something new and different, be prepared, girlfriend, because you're about to fall on your ass again and have to get back up. That is just the pattern that I have lived and I have noticed. But what happens on the other side? It always works out, and it works out better than where you were before. I promise. One of the biggest misconceptions about manifestation is that you're manifesting correctly. Nothing bad should happen. That is not further from the truth, okay? Manifestation isn't controlling life and the outcome. It's becoming the person who can navigate life and get to that point that you want to be at. Sometimes losing something creates space for something greater. I don't even think sometimes is the correct word. I think it's all the time. It's every time. Sometimes losing a job introduces a new purpose and a new career. A divorce introduces peace. And sometimes grief introduces and teaches us presence and just living in the moment. Sometimes failure it reminds us that we are resilient. You aren't manifesting the perfect life, you're manifesting a stronger version of yourself. Think about that for a moment. What is your greatest manifestation? What if it isn't your house, your relationship, money? What if it's becoming someone who finally knows their worth? I know I've been working on that a lot. And it absolutely did come with my whole world falling apart, right? Back when I was 40, and I talk about this all the time, I decided to start doing some work on myself. I was engaged to someone that was very emotionally immature and abusive. And this wasn't the first time I had gone through this. And so it was finally time to look in the mirror and decide who's to blame. Can I keep blaming all these men that I invite into my life and into my world of peace, and then they create chaos? Is it their fault? I did this. So that's when I decided to change. And let me tell you what, it is painful. And this is why we resist change, right? Because it's hard, it's difficult, it's painful, it's destruction, it's the tower moments, like I talk about all the time. It is shit falling apart so something can come in better. Here's something I've learned. Most people don't resist change, they resist uncertainty, right? We don't know what's on the other end of the beginning. Because uncertainty feels safe? No, it feels unsafe as hell. We cling to what hurts because it's familiar. We stay in unhealthy relationships because we know what to expect. Trauma bond at its finest. We stay in jobs we hate because it pays the bills, right? What's on the other end? We don't know, so we stay. Comfort isn't always alignment, though. And sometimes comfort becomes a prison. Growth begins when comfort ends. Growth is uncomfortable. Discomfort brings growth. It's just how it is. Think about growing pains as a child. Imagine planting a seed. If you dug it up every day, it's never going to grow. Would it become a tree? Nope. Growth happens within. And if you're a seed, underground, right? The same thing happens in our lives. When nothing seems to be happening, it's just the growth within. It's just beginning. It's just that core child within you creating something in the 3D that's actually already going on in the 5D because you planted the seed, you've put it out there. Everything is happening beneath the surface. You just don't see it yet. Manifestation begins with identity, like I talked about in the last episode. Not vision boards, not affirmations, not, being positive every day and telling yourself how great it's going to be. That's not where it begins. It begins with your identity. So I want you to ask yourself, who was I before life broke me? I was probably 7, just being real. The first time. Let me tell you, the first time. Who did I become while surviving? And maybe it's a good idea to write this down. Ask yourself these questions. Who am I becoming now? Who is that version of me that is the best for this moment in my life, for this timeline? Those are 3 completely different people. The goal isn't to become the old version of yourself. The version didn't know what you know now, so we don't want to go backwards, right? Your job is to move forward with wisdom. And that happens, with life. That happens with age. But it only happens if you learn to let go and to lean into the new and the new version of you. And that's just it, letting go and letting people be. Sometimes manifestation requires releasing. For me, I feel like it does all the time. You release people, guilt, shame, expectation, timelines, old ways of thinking. One of the biggest things I've had to let go of was believing if life is where it's at today, it should have looked different. And I should be sad about this. Maybe you thought you should still be married. I went through a season of this where I was pissed off because he was to blame for the divorce. It was all his doings, you know. And I tried and tried and tried. I held on for as long as I could. And finally, the universe was like, okay, your grip is getting lighter and lighter, and I'm pushing you off of this hill because you know you deserve better and it's time to move forward. So instead of walking that road alone, I fell on my face on that sidewalk and had to get back up. Because why? I was resisting. Maybe you thought I should have grandchildren by now. I'm lucky enough to have five. And never did I think that I would have five grandchildren without my counterpart, without my partner to be a grandparent with, right? That's not what I planned. But do I love it? Absolutely. It's just a different path than what I had planned as a child or a young adult. Maybe you thought your healing would happen faster. I know there have been multiple points in my life since I started my healing journey that I thought I was there. Yeah, the universe showed me different, and so did other people. I wasn't there. Am I still on that path? Absolutely, but I've come a lot further than I thought I would be. Healing doesn't follow a calendar, and neither does your purpose. Remember, you're not behind, and you can always manifest good and bad. This isn't just talking about manifesting the best life ever and the best version of you. You can also manifest the shit. I'm just saying. It doesn't just come with, oh, I want better, so automatically you fall on your ass. It can also come with words, putting the energy out there of, my life is terrible, my life sucks, my job sucks. The universe and your mind will give you exactly what you're seeing and what you're thinking, okay? Just putting that out there. Don't ever forget that people talk about manifesting the good all the time. We don't talk about the other side of it as often, that you can also manifest the shit. And part of that is wanting more. It is releasing the old life, and it is saying, okay, I want to step further up that ladder. Okay, well, you're not quite on the path yet, so you gotta fall on your ass. Sorry. Unfortunate, but it's true. Comparison steals joy because you're comparing your behind the scenes to their in front of the camera, to someone else's highlight reel that probably isn't real. Stop measuring your journey by someone else's timeline. Manifestation requires action. It isn't about sitting there waiting. It's not about sitting on your couch and then Prince Charming just knocks on the door, ladies. Man, it's not about you being in Home Depot and her dropping her glass slipper. That's not what it's about. It's about moving. It's about applying for the job. It's about making the phone call, going to therapy, putting in the work, journaling, becoming the best you that you can be, leaving the toxic relationship or friendship or situation that is no longer serving you, opening that business, taking the class, starting the podcast, posting the video, writing the book, trusting yourself enough to move forward into the life that you want to create. It is being before it's actually in front of you. You have to feel ready before you're actually ready. And that's action. Confidence follows the evidence. No. The evidence follows the confidence. That's how it goes. We have this backwards. So I talk about all the time when I started the podcast alone. I didn't know a lot about this, okay? I had done it with Coulter, and he did all of the editing. He helped me out. And when he left the program, I thought, okay, I guess we're done. But there was something inside of me. Not only was there something inside of me, but I was receiving messages from people saying, hey, I miss your show. And I thought, I can't do this alone. It just isn't me. I, I, I've never done this. And I can't tell you how much it made my heart sing when I just took the leap of faith and I did it on my own. And I just took off with it. And the confidence that it brought after was amazing. And then the manifestation came in when I finally decided I wanted to monetize. I got an email not too long later saying that I had, because I put it out there and I kept pushing forward. And that's manifestation. So if you're listening today and your life feels like it's falling apart, please listen to me and please hear this. You are becoming, you are blossoming, you are creating the next version of yourself that's even better than the past one. The old version of your life is definitely ending, and endings create beginnings. I say it all the time. When one door closes, a better one opens. And if you don't believe me, really think about that. It'll make you stronger, kinder, more peaceful, more authentic, more forgiving, and you'll have the best life that you've ever had. That doesn't mean it's not going to get better. It's going to get better. Just keep following your path and fully trust it. Here's the challenge for the week. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, why is this happening for me? What can I create from what is falling apart? I love to call it a clean slate. And just asking yourself those questions can create a whole new perspective on what's going on, I promise. And especially if you're journaling, you're going to see a change and you're going to see a difference and you're going to be so excited about what you created and manifested on your very own. It was no one else just handing you shit and instructions on how to be a parent, how to be a grandparent, how to buy your first home and sustain everything that you've created in life. It's about you doing it on your own, and that is amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this episode helped you out so much. And if you know someone that could use this episode, send them a link. Thank you for showing me the love, for liking, subscribing, sharing, and sending me your topic ideas. I truly appreciate you all. And I hope you're happy. Yeah, I hope you have the best day. And until next time, lots of love. Love you. Bye.